Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another great, this one's going to be great, everybody, another great episode of Jake's Hot Takes, and I think now that I unmuted Matt's microphone, I think finally he can be heard. Speak, Matt.
Hello, it's me.
Yeah, there we go. All right,
we're here.
So we're ready to get going now. The Knicks dropped a heartbreaker on this one. Let's just be honest.
It was a bad game. I guess an okay team. They have some talented players, but maybe next year, guys. This isn't it. That's the main conclusion.
Here's the thing. I'm willing to cut this team a little slack. All right, I really am, because this Clippers team is a good team. And look, I know the Knicks were ahead for most of the time. At one point, they had like a decent 8 or 9 point lead, and then the Clippers just kind of walked it back and then never looked back. And that is definitely just unfortunate, but this Clippers team was pretty good. And if you look at the stats, I think it's pretty clear why we lost. Clippers won in every important stat. They shot better from the field. They shot significantly better from three. They had less turnovers, and they had more rebounds.
Yeah, well, I mean,
what do you expect?
The Knicks just cannot defend the three at all, and that's what we've seen repeatedly in this game. And against a team that has some good shooters like James Harden, like Kawhi Leonard, that's going to be exposed, you know?
Yeah, and you definitely can't let a guy like James Harden just stand up there and shoot threes. He went 6 for 9 from three. I mean, you know, he did what James Harden did. They gave him open looks, and he took open shots. 29 on the night, 8 for 16 from the field, and 6 for 9 for James Harden. 6 rebounds and 6 assists. Pretty darn good, gotta say.
He played well, but also no Knicks were good at shooting for three. I mean, Cat made 4 of his 7, but then you see someone like McCall Bridges who made 1 of his 5. Josh Hart made 0 of his 4. A really bad game. You know, the other night he broke the franchise record for triple doubles in a single season.
Yeah, it's doing a lot for us right now.
Yeah, it's doing great.
Don't we all feel so confident now?
Josh Hart had a terrible night shooting in general. He was 3 for 9 from the field, 0 for 4 from 3, 6 rebounds, 6 assists. Not great. Not a great time.
Yeah, and, we're talking bench shooting. The only 2 guys to even attempt a 3-point shot off the bench was Landry Shamet and Tyler Kolek. And Shamet was the only person off the bench who actually made a 3-point shot. So it's like, the Clippers had guys coming off the bench. Batum was shooting 2 for 2 on 3-pointers. Derek Jones was shooting 1 for 3. Sure, it's low volume, but those are important shots, and they hit those shots,
Yeah.
And that's really the difference. I mean, we shot 38% from 3, and the Clippers shot 53% from 3. The Clippers actually shot better from 3 than they did from the field. And you know why? It's because we got no perimeter defense.
Yep.
No one on this team can play perimeter defense.
Not one bit can they defend the 3.
And I'm sick of it. I'm so frustrated.
And it's not really something that is going to improve once Brunson comes back.
No, it's not. That's the worst part.
It's the worst part.
It's just a flaw baked into the team.
Yep. It's not looking good. I would say a definitely highlight is, of course, Karl Anthony Towns.
Of course.
He played well.
Naturally.
11 for 20 from the field, 3 for 4 from 3. 13 rebounds, pretty good. He had a nice double-double tonight, but then again, just wasn't enough to put us over the top. And you really have to ask yourself, were we playing the Celtics or were we playing the Clippers? That's what it looked like tonight.
Yeah. Look, if we come out and we perform against the Celtics like we did against the Clippers, we're going to get our dogs walked.
It's going to be like 150 to 100.
We're going to be paying these guys to walk our dogs day in and day out. And, Kawhi Leonard did have a Herculean effort to get the Clippers back and keep them in this game when realistically the Clippers could have very easily quit. Kawhi also had a double-double. He went 27, 10 and 7, shot 10 for 18 from the field, 2 for 6 from 3. Wow. Brain got scrambled there. There were a couple other big contributors. Zubac was completely cooking us. There was nothing we could do.
Yeah.
No post defense whatsoever. That's just the thing. This Knicks team just doesn't have very good defense at all, does it? Really just around the board.
Well, yeah, the thing is, like, we know that Brunson is irreplaceable, but on a team with Cat, on a team with McCall Bridges, you would think that this team would be competitive with any team in the league without Brunson.
Yeah.
And there's been so many times over these past couple of weeks that it's just been a wash without Brunson.
Yeah.
And they're just relying so much on him, and they don't have the defensive ability to keep up with some of the better teams or even a decent team like the Clippers.
And that's the worst part. 4 of the 5 starting players actually had really good nights.
Yeah.
Mikal Bridges, 17 points. OG Anunoby, 28 points. Karl Anthony Towns, 34 points. Double-double. Campaign, 15 points. I was expecting Campaign to do worse, and he hurt himself. Mm-hmm. So now we're down another point guard. Who's playing point guard? We're going to answer that later. Don't worry. You look at the bench, and then all of a sudden, it's like getting blasted in the face with cold water. We got donuts across the board. Precious Achiuwa and Landry Shamet tied for the who can be the least productive and still score points off the bench off. They both had 6 points tonight. Absolutely miserable. I cringe whenever I see Precious Achiuwa check into the game. Mm-hmm. I like Precious. I want him to do good. I want him to be successful for our team. But man, he looks bad.
Yeah, he's been looking bad.
And he doesn't just look bad, he looks confused. And I think that's even worse. If it were just a physical thing where he's just getting outmatched by guys, that'd be one thing. But he has the physicals to compete, and he's just getting outsmarted. He just doesn't know what he's doing out there.
Yeah, it just seems like there's no answers on this Knicks bench for anything. For anything defensively, for anything offensively.
No.
Guys will have good nights every now and then, but there's no standout player on this bench that you can rely on every single night. Say, hey, let's put him up tonight. Let's give him a chance.
Absolutely. Landry Shamet was supposed to be that guy. You know, he was supposed to be the guy that could come off the bench and give you a couple 3-pointers. But he shot 2 for 5, but still just not... he didn't work in tandem with the rest of the team, and I think that is really where the issue lies.
And of course, Deuce McBride is injured right now.
Yeah.
Hopefully he comes back soon. That's a big hit to the bench, one of the better players.
Yeah, definitely.
But still, just an unacceptable performance from the bench.
I'd say so. I mean, we gave DeLon Wright a look. We gave him, 12 minutes on the court. And he did quite a lot for us. He he attempted 1 field goal, and he didn't do anything else. He got 3 assists, though. You know who else scored 0 points but got way more assists and probably deserved more minutes than DeLon Wright?
I'm not sure.
You can say
Ben Simmons?
No, Tyler Kolek. Tyler Kolek had a good night, but we're going to be talking about that after we talk about Tyler Kolek didn't have a good game. He had an all right game. He had a good game for what he's supposed to be. Anyway, let's talk next game, which I believe is going to be up against Portland. We had a run-in with Portland earlier in the season, and it was a nail-biter, a heart-stopper even, with a final score of 114 to 113, with Mikal Bridges drilling the buzzer beater to give us the win on the road. It was an important win in that West Coast road trip. We were not looking good.
Well, the Trailblazers are coming here tonight, and we're going to see how this goes. I mean, it's no secret the Trailblazers are definitely one of the worst teams in the league, so the Knicks should be able to have this on lock. This is a big test, and this is sad saying this is a big test because of how the expectations that the Knicks had coming into the year, but they need a commanding win against the Trailblazers team.
Yeah, it feels like a lot hangs in the balance in terms of postseason. It's still not an impossibility that we slide down to that 4th seed and Indiana slides right up into that 3rd seed. It's not like we can take the rest of the regular season off. Like, we need to be dialed in for this one.
Yeah, I mean, the Trailblazers are coming off a blowout loss against the Sacramento Kings. I don't think that the Trailblazers have the manpower to match up with the Knicks here. I would hope that'd be the case.
Yeah, it definitely doesn't look like it, especially considering that this Trailblazers team has cooled off maybe even worse than the Knicks, losing their last 3. Granted, 2 of their last 3 losses were to Boston and Cleveland, so who are we to talk, right? It's not like we're a lot better than them in that department, but definitely demoralizing losses. This is a team that's going on the road. I believe Portland is on a trip to the East Coast right now, or maybe not. I have no idea. Anyway, that's not important. What's important is analyzing and finding out who needs to do what in what situation. I think that Karl Anthony Towns just needs to keep on doing what he's doing.
I think so.
He's the only bright spot on this team right now, aside from OG Anunoby, like every other night.
I'd like to see another high-volume shot night from McCall Bridges. Not a great night for him by any stretch of the imagination shooting, but other than that, I mean, they have some shooters on this Portland defense, and we need him on the edge to contest some of the perimeter because it's just not working right now.
Yeah, definitely.
Is really what it is. I mean, he had a good night a couple of nights ago shooting, and we need to see more of that from him. We need to see more reps with that shot load, and we haven't seen that. We also need people on the bench to step up.
Definitely.
Mitchell Robinson
looked terrible.
Yeah, he's definitely been disappointing since his return from injury, but hopefully he can get back on track.
I wouldn't even say that he's been disappointing consistently. It was just this game specifically. He looked really bad. He looked like winded again. I'm so confused about it because obviously he was recovering from an injury. So I'm willing to say, last night was just a regression night for him. It happens with injuries. But he looked like exhausted, and that's really where my concern lies, because if your conditioning isn't good enough to get through a game against the Clippers, how are you going to be playing playoff basketball, man? Seriously.
Yep.
I mean, and in terms of like threats on the Trailblazers, Anthony Simons is a dangerous guy. You really got to keep an eye on him. I think that whoever we have starting at the point guard, who, it could be Deuce, it could be Cameron, depending on whether or not they come back from injury, could be Tyler Kolek. I think Simons cooks Kolek 9 times out of 10, 10 times out of 10 maybe. Kolek did not show anything defensively the other night. And it was a little disappointing to see because, that's always something that you want to see out of your rookies, out of your young guys. But if it's Tyler Kolek playing the point, we're definitely not going to be able to just man up and bully these guys around because Kolek's going to get cooked every time.
Yeah, I definitely don't think so. What do you think of Tom Thibodeau playing the starters as much as he did? A quote came out from McCall Bridges after the game the other night saying that he was tired as something. What do we think of that?
I think that if it's getting to the point where your players are undercutting you to go talk to the media about how exhausted they are with the minutes that you're giving them, maybe you just need to reconsider how many minutes you're giving these guys. But then on the other hand, I'm saying to myself, what, are we going to let Tyler Kolek get a bunch of minutes? Are we going to let Landry Shamet get a bunch of minutes? None of these guys off the bench have proven that they can keep us in a basketball game whatsoever. And Tibbs busted out like the full bench package the other night. He had Mitchell Robinson, Precious Achiuwa, and then I believe it was Josh Hart, Landry Shamet, and DeLon Wright out on the court. And DeLon Wright was terrible, but I mean, just who in their right mind would put that group out there on the court?
Yeah, I don't know, especially on that amount of minutes.
Yes, and especially against the Clippers, who still had Harden in.
Yep.
It's like, what?
It's been bad, especially when that game seemed like it was away at one point. We still had the starters in. And it's not like there's going to be any positive things there because they're tired.
Yeah, it just there's too many levels to this. There's too many levels to this because, I mean, we're kind of screwed right now. I think our biggest concern for this offseason should be bolstering the depth on the bench.
Yeah.
Because really, we had nothing to work with. Or we currently have nothing to work with. It's awful. And I'm expecting to see some development out of guys like Tyler Kolek. And I'm expecting to see, something out of a guy like, maybe a little development out of Deuce McBride.
Yeah.
Stepping into a proper backup point guard role where he can, once Brunson is back, he can come off the bench and be that productive guy. Because even just having a sixth man who's good enough to start anchoring your bench can make all the difference for a bench team.
It can.
And I mean, and I'm being really critical of this team, especially when our, top 3 point guards are out right now. I mean, Brunson is out, McBride is out, and Cam Payne are all out. I'm being so critical, but it's because this starting 5 that we have is so talented, and it feels like it's a roster being wasted on terrible bench play. And we've seen that Shamet can come off the bench and get some stuff done. We've seen that Mitchell Robinson can come off the bench and get some stuff done. And they're not doing it.
Yeah, it's just true. I don't know. This game against Portland is going to be a big test for them.
Definitely.
Considering how bad this game against LA was.
Definitely. When we get back, we are going to be talking about one player in specific. Had a very odd night, but a very promising night, I think. Then we're going to be talking about some national NBA stuff. The Grizzlies are in a bit of a weird situation right now. All that and more when we get back. Jake's Hot Takes, WGNY 94.5 1220 News Talk Sports. Make sure you follow the Instagram, Jake's Hot Takes WGNY. Make sure you send an email to the email, jakesHotTakes@wgny.net. Stay tuned, folks.
Thinking about remodeling your kitchen or bath? Wayne's Way Wholesale Cabinets has a great selection of all wood cabinets in the styles and colors to make your remodeling dreams come to life. Go to wayneswaycabinets.com for more info. Wayne's Way Cabinets, 1829 South Road, Wappingers Falls. Call 845-280-0880. Stop by and talk to Wayne today. You'll be glad you did. CDS Auto and Truck Repair is your 5-star one-stop shop for all your vehicle's needs from A to Z, offering full vehicle diagnostics. Towing is available, and they now offer fleet service. CDS Auto and Truck Repair. Call 845-563-9987. That's 845-563-9987. CDS Auto and Truck Repair, 2917 Route 9W, New Windsor.
You've long known that Newburgh Auto Spa on Route 17K utilizes top caliber products and the latest technology to give your vehicle the proper maintenance it needs. Whether it be a computerized soft cloth car wash, detailing consisting of a comprehensive bumper-to-bumper cleaning of your entire interior and exterior, or a fuel-efficient oil change from a trained technician, Newburgh Auto Spa is the place to go. Now, Newburgh Auto Spa is a full-service automotive center. That's right, Newburgh Auto Spa now offers tires, brakes, rotors, tune-ups, alternators, and more, all with the same professionalism and quality you've become accustomed to. For a full list of automotive services offered in specials, go to NewburghAutospa.com. Whether you need a basic car wash, a quick oil change, or now more extensive automotive service, Newburgh Auto Spa is the place to go. Newburgh Auto Spa, quick, convenient, clean, located at 86 Route 17K and online at NewburghAutospa.com. Now offering a full range of automotive services. Newburgh Auto Spa, quick, convenient, clean.
The Roma Deli, 237 Myers Corners Road, Wappingers Falls, is your neighborhood family-owned and operated deli, offering breakfast, lunch, and catering options. The Roma Deli has brought a little piece of the Bronx to Wappingers, including fresh-made sandwiches, Italian specialties, and desserts, all prepared and cooked in-house with authentic Italian ingredients. Their large menu provides lots of options to personalize your order to your taste. Vegan and vegetarian options available. The Roma Deli, offering catering that is perfect for any party or business function. Go to romadeli1.com or call 845-297-1200.
Michael's Appliances presents Ask Andy, the appliance expert. Andy, what makes my oven smell so bad when I self-clean?
Self-clean, my favorite weapon in the world. Self-cleaning is a brutal environment. Most people don't think about it. They hear self-clean. I'm not really sure if they're picturing scrubbing bubbles inside there, scrubbing, but what's really happening is we're heating the oven up hot enough to carbonize protein. We're going to take the food stuff that's left in your stove, and we're actually going to carbonize it. We're going to turn it to dust. So we're 700 degrees. So why does it smell bad? You're setting fire to a chicken. Today, a lot of the new stoves, because of the energy guidelines, there is no real self-clean anymore. They don't want those high temperatures. It's a huge waste of energy. It's very easy. You don't have to get on your hands and knees and your back doesn't hurt. You're not scrubbing the stove, but we use a ton of energy to clean the inside of that stove by heating it up.
Shop with the experts. Nobody knows appliances like Michael's Appliance Center, 585 East Main Street, Middletown. Online at michaelsappliance.com.
Welcome back to Jake's Hot Takes. We're going to jump right back into it. Let's get started with a little Tyler Kolek talk. But before we do, don't forget, follow the Instagram, Jake's Hot Takes, WGNY on Instagram. We're posting episode updates and we'll post some polls and stuff like that. So just keep an eye on that. It's going to be a lot of fun. Now let's talk Tyler Kolek, because I know you saw what I saw last night, or the other night.
Yep.
A basketball game.
Yeah, definitely a basketball game. But there was a singular bright spot, not in this game, but for the future.
Definitely.
I don't think Coach Thibodeau really realizes that he has a modern-day Steve Nash on his bench in Tyler Kolek. He's just fantastic. I don't know.
I love the faith in him, but no. Kolek was dishing it like magic the other night. Some really nice facilitating of the offense. He definitely opened things up a little bit, helped us, kind of generate and keep some momentum. Even though he had a pretty poor shooting night, he only shot and missed 2 shots. And that is kind of where the root of the problem is, and that's kind of what I want to talk about in general. Yeah. Thibodeau pulled Kolek after 2 missed shots, and I understand that, we were in like a win situation where we need to be scoring points, and if Kolek is going to be taking up volume, then he shouldn't be on the court. But is your solution really to put in DeLon Wright?
Yeah, I don't think that's really the solution right there.
It definitely isn't.
Not a good decision.
No, I don't think so at all. I mean, I like DeLon Wright. I like what he could potentially be for this team, especially with all the point guard injuries. But I don't know. We saw Kolek facilitate the offense. And I mean, in a short, 18 minutes, 19 minutes?
Yeah.
In a short, 19 minutes, he managed to rack up 7 assists. So,
yeah, he looked like prime Brunson out there.
Yeah, no, I mean, not really, but he looked he looked decent, and it just confuses me where you have this guy out here who's attempting. He's attempting to shoot. I mean, look at how many guys out on the court. Mitchell Robinson had 13 minutes and did not attempt a shot all night. Landry Shamet, the shooter, attempted 5 shots on 19 minutes. DeLon Wright, the guy that he brought him in, only attempted 1 shot. Nobody was taking looks at the basket off the bench right now, and you're going to bench Tyler Kolek for trying?
Yeah, I mean, they put him in that game against Dallas, and he looked great in the limited minutes that he played. He racked up 9 assists and 0 turnovers. He just looks great. He's really what it is. I would really like to see him developed more, is I think the goal for the Knicks right now, or what it should be, because I don't think any Knicks fan is watching really thinking that they're going to make a deep playoff run at this point.
No, definitely not. I mean, all it takes is a trip to Cleveland or a trip to Boston in the second round, and we're probably getting our heads
in the first round.
What, you think we're going to fall that far?
Maybe.
Regular season's not done yet.
No.
Anyway, no, it made me sad. It made me sad for Kolek that he really did go out there and tried to put on a show. And he did to some extent. I mean, he had the second most assists of the night behind Mikal Bridges. And he was doing his thing for a little bit. And it just speaks to Tom Thibodeau's understanding of players' needs.
Yeah.
That's really where my concern is at. Because if Tom Thibodeau can't realize, this young guy is going out on the court and finding new ways for him to impact the game or impact the offense.
Yeah.
Sure, he might not have been making the shots, but it's not like he took 8 shots.
Yeah.
If Kolek got up to even 4 or 5 shots and didn't make any of them, I might understand. But he shot 2 threes and he had 1 field goal attempt the entire night. It's really, we're going to bench a guy over 3 missed shots now?
Especially a rookie and a guy that's doing well for you in the assist department, which not really many other players on your team are doing.
Yeah. Kolek had as many assists as the rest of the bench combined.
Yeah, I don't understand putting him away.
I would love to see more of him. I would love to see more of him in the coming games, especially, like I said, with the Brunson and the campaign and the Deuce McBride injury. Yeah. I think Kolek needs to be getting minutes. And I'm frustrated with Thibodeau again because why did you pull him? He can unlock this part of the offense that we haven't had since Brunson went out, because I love Deuce and I love Campaign, but they're not pass-first guys, especially Campaign. And Deuce was getting good with it. Deuce actually did do a pretty good job in the passing department. But having a guy that we can get out there and we know he can facilitate the offense like he's been doing. He's an assist guy. He's not a shooter. He's not going to go out there and, go 5 for 6 from 3 and 8 from 10 on the field. He's going to go out there and he's going to try his best on defense, even though he didn't look very good on defense. And he's going to pass the ball a lot. And that's what we need right now. We need a guy who passes the ball. Cat barely passes the ball. Mikal Bridges barely passes the ball.
That's what the team needs, especially a guy coming off the bench that can do that.
Exactly. And with such poor bench play, realistically, Kolek didn't score a point, and he was the best guy off our bench.
Yeah.
So, why, Thibodeau, you get me so frustrated. Anyway, we're going to pivot to a little bit of national NBA news. In a very surprising and shocking move, the Memphis Grizzlies have fired their coach, Taylor Jenkins, franchise's all-time winningest head coach. Not a lot coming from the Grizzlies, but still.
I mean, they're about to make the playoffs, so this is a very surprising move considering they have 9 games left of their season. It's very interesting. I mean, they named assistant coach Thomas Lizolo as the interim coach, so we'll see how that goes for them. But what do you think this means for a Grizzlies team that is going to make the playoffs at this point?
Well, here's the thing. You don't fire your head coach like 3 weeks before the playoffs unless something really bad is happening. And that's honestly where I'm at, because I'm reading article after article about this, and I cannot seem to find an actual reason as to why Jenkins was fired. I mean, he had a career record of 250 and 214 over the last 6 years, which, it wasn't great. And, for a lot of team standards, that's not great for a 6-year stretch. But for the Grizzlies, he gave them hope for the first time in a while,
Yeah.
I would say that he unlocked a certain attitude out of Ja, and I think Ja looked really good for the time that he's been playing under Jenkins.
He has looked very good, but the thing is that Ja is injured right now, and the status of the Grizzlies in the playoffs is not looking so great.
No, definitely not.
So I guess I could maybe understand getting rid of him a little bit early if they were planning on getting rid of him, but just with this little amount of time left in the season, I just don't understand this move.
Yeah.
In terms of killing your chance for any success with an interim head coach.
That's what I'm saying. I feel like firing your head coach right before the playoffs is almost just resigning yourself to being a first-round exit. And it's not like the Grizzlies, and I understand that the West is stacked, because the West has a lot of the best teams in the NBA. The Lakers, the Nuggets, I was about to say the Mavericks. No, I was thinking about last year. The Thunder, the Rockets, and obviously I didn't think Memphis really had a chance to, I think even with Jenkins, Memphis would have been a first-round exit. I don't know who they're scheduled to play, but I'm confident that one of those top teams would have been able to knock off Memphis pretty easily, but
I agree.
It just feels like they've completely resigned themselves to doing nothing.
Well, the thing is that Memphis in the past 2 months has an 0-4 record against the Thunder, an 0-2 record versus the Cavs, and 0-2 versus the Knicks. All pretty good teams in the league, and they just haven't been able to beat great teams. And that must be concerning them and leading them to fire their coach.
Yeah, I don't know. There feels like you said, they wouldn't just fire a guy because they were losing, per se, even against the best teams. I mean, plenty of teams lose against the best teams. That's why they're the best teams in the league, is because they beat all the other teams.
Yeah. I just think they see Taylor Jenkins as more of a rebuilding coach and not a championship coach, and I think they're right. But the thing about that, I don't see why they would, if that was their mentality, I don't see why they would even go into the season with him as their head coach if they didn't believe in him.
Yeah, it's like if you are just relying on this guy to get you through the regular season, why is he your coach in the first place?
Yeah, it doesn't really make sense to me, especially since they have a winning record and they're going to be making the playoffs. It just makes no sense to me.
Yeah, and they got the assistant coach to be an interim in the meantime. What exactly is that move doing for you? I mean, I feel like unless you have a guy on deck to accept this new head coaching job, Memphis should have just held on to Jenkins, because now your team is, the organization, depending on the situation with Jenkins, because again, there is a possibility that it was like a locker room issue and that the players really needed Jenkins out, or that there was some kind of misconduct.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to say 100% one way or another.
Yeah, there's no information
assuming,
about that.
I'm assuming that it was just a losing situation. They just didn't want Jenkins for the future. He didn't do a great job in the last stretch of the season, so they cut him off.
Well, the Grizzlies most recently had a pretty awful game against the Thunder, which is the final game of Jenkins' tenure as the Grizzlies head coach. They got blown out, and it was actually pretty close the first 3 quarters, but the Grizzlies could not get anything going on offense throughout the whole fourth quarter, and the Thunder just put them away, quite frankly. So I just feel like the Grizzlies have serious doubts about his tendency to beat good teams and how that would have an impact on the playoffs.
Yeah, see, this isn't even the kind of game that screams to me that this guy is a bad coach, because like you said, Memphis hung in there for the first 3 quarters. I mean, they were right there toe in toe with the Thunder pretty much until the fourth quarter, and then they just completely fell apart. Kind of like this Memphis team is right now, huh? They're staying toe in toe with some of the best teams in the league until the very end when they're falling apart.
Keep in mind, this is a Memphis team without Ja Morant.
Yeah, I mean, look, there was a lot that this Memphis team could have done better, but there was a whole lot that they could have done worse.
Yeah.
So, I mean, make of that what you will. But when we get back, we're going to be talking about the Lakers. Ooh, so excited. Mm-hmm. No, get excited about it. And then we're going to be talking some football, so make sure you stick around for that. It is going to be fun. I'll be right here for when you get back. Goodbye.
Thinking about remodeling your kitchen or bath? Wayne's Way Wholesale Cabinets has a great selection of all wood cabinets in the styles and colors to make your remodeling dreams come to life. Go to wayneswaycabinets.com for more info. Wayne's Way Cabinets, 1829 South Road, Wappingers Falls. Call 845-280-0880. Stop by and talk to Wayne today. You'll be glad you did. CDS Auto and Truck Repair is your 5-star one-stop shop for all your vehicle's needs from A to Z, offering full vehicle diagnostic. Towing is available, and they now offer fleet service. CDS Auto and Truck Repair. Call 845-563-9987. That's 845-563-9987. CDS Auto and Truck Repair, 2917 Route 9W, New Windsor.
You've long known that Newburgh Auto Spa on Route 17K utilizes top caliber products and the latest technology to give your vehicle the proper maintenance it needs. Whether it be a computerized soft cloth car wash, detailing consisting of a comprehensive bumper-to-bumper cleaning of your entire interior and exterior, or a fuel-efficient oil change from a trained technician, Newburgh Auto Spa is the place to go. Now, Newburgh Auto Spa is a full-service automotive center. That's right, Newburgh Auto Spa now offers tires, brakes, rotors, tune-ups, alternators, and more, all with the same professionalism and quality you've become accustomed to. For a full list of automotive services offered in specials, go to NewburghAutoSpa.com. Whether you need a basic car wash, a quick oil change, or now more extensive automotive service, Newburgh Auto Spa is the place to go. Newburgh Auto Spa, quick, convenient, clean, located at 86 Route 17K and online at NewburghAutoSpa.com. Now offering a full range of automotive services. Newburgh Auto Spa, quick, convenient, clean.
The Roma Deli, 237 Myers Corners Road, Wappingers Falls, is your neighborhood family-owned and operated deli, offering breakfast, lunch, and catering options. The Roma Deli has brought a little piece of the Bronx to Wappingers, including fresh-made sandwiches, Italian specialties, and desserts, all prepared and cooked in-house with authentic Italian ingredients. Their large menu provides lots of options to personalize your order to your taste. Vegan and vegetarian options available. The Roma Deli, offering catering that is perfect for any party or business function. Go to RomaDeli1.com or call 845-297-1200.
Michael's Appliances presents Ask Andy, the appliance expert. Andy, what makes my oven smell so bad when I self-clean?
Self-clean, my favorite weapon in the world. Self-cleaning is a brutal environment. Most people don't think about it. They hear self-clean. I'm not really sure if they're picturing scrubbing bubbles inside there, but what's really happening is we're heating the oven up hot enough to carbonize protein. We're going to take the food stuff that's left in your stove, and we're actually going to carbonize it. We're going to turn it to dust. So we're at 700 degrees. So why does it smell bad? You're setting fire to a chicken. Today, a lot of the new stoves, because of the energy guidelines, there is no real self-clean anymore. They don't want those high temperatures. It's a huge waste of energy. It's very easy. You don't have to get on your hands and knees and your back doesn't hurt. You're not scrubbing a stove, but we use a ton of energy to clean the inside of that stove by heating it up.
Shop with the experts. Nobody knows appliances like Michael's Appliance Center, 585 East Main Street, Middletown. Online at michaelsappliance.com.
Welcome back to the show. We're happy to have you here. Next up, we're going to be talking about the nutritional implication of rye bread on a diet.
Yeah.
No, we're joking. We're talking about the Lakers.
About the Los Angeles Lakers.
I know, I probably just lost a bunch of you there, but anyway, let's talk Lakers, because the Lakers have had a rough go of it these last couple weeks. They've gone 1-4 in their last 5 games. So that has just been an absolutely miserable look for them. Matt, what have you been seeing? What's the deal?
I mean, this last game against the Chicago Bulls was just a especially bad loss for them, considering how it ended. I mean, LeBron basically fell asleep for the last 2 possessions of the game, failed to contest a 3-point shot, and then on the inbounds pass, Josh Giddey intercepted it, made it, and then a couple seconds later, Josh Giddey hits the 3-point shot from half court. Just not a good look for this Lakers team that it feels like 2 weeks ago was the 2 seed in the West and looked like they could compete for a championship. And honestly, I just don't think that this Lakers team can compete with the championship anymore.
I think you're being too
I really
harsh
just
on
don't
him.
think so.
I think you're being too
I think
harsh on him.
LeBron needs to stop beefing with Stephen A. Smith, get off the Pat McAfee show, and just start playing on the court again, you know?
Man, that
this really does feel like his last chance at a championship, and I don't think it's possible.
Do you really think Stephen A. Smith would have swung on LeBron? I don't think there's any way he would have swung on LeBron. I don't think there's any way, but that's not what we're here to talk about. But I'm sorry, that situation is just so funny to me.
Yeah.
No, it has been a truly awful last 5 games for the Lakers. They got a nice close win against the Pacers. They lost to the Magic, which I personally was not expecting because you look at the stats and the Lakers were pretty much toe-in-toe with the Magic on most things. Granted, they didn't lead in any of the major stat categories, but you know, they were close. It's not like there was a huge discrepancy. It was just that the Lakers were not able to generate enough offense. And especially out of a guy like Jackson Hayes, who, you know, they needed more out of him, realistically. He only played 18 minutes, but they needed more out of him. Because the guys coming off the bench just didn't do anything for him, which is weird because the Lakers usually have a decent pool of bench guys. You know, Rui Hachimura, not a terrible player.
Nope.
Jared Vanderbilt, pretty good on defense, but he, you know, had a quiet night. It just, you know, sad performance out of the Lakers.
Yeah, I mean, they just need to keep winning. I mean, they're in danger of the Grizzlies overtaking them for the 4th seed and then they moving all the way down to the 5th seed. Then even past that, this West race is so close right now.
Yeah.
The Clippers, Warriors, and Timberwolves all have 41 wins, and that's only 3 away from the Lakers' 44 wins. Not a very big margin, and I think they're starting to panic. Is really what it is. And the thing is the Luka trade and how all that happened, and the plans for the Lakers are not this year. When they trade for Luka, your plans can be for 3, even 5 years in advance. So no matter what, I know people are going to say when they get eliminated, because I don't think this Lakers team is going to compete against the Thunder or the Celtics or any other great teams in the league. I just don't. I think people are going to say, "Oh, the Luka trade was a bad idea." Not anyway, because that's for the future. Regardless of this season, I think the Lakers have a very bright future with Luka Doncic.
Okay, so I agree with you on the Luka take, but I also, I don't know. It kind of feels to me like them putting a superstar next to LeBron is an attempt to kind of go out and see what they can do with this season. I feel like the Lakers' plans are to actually try and compete for a chip this year, just because, you know, LeBron is an incredibly important part of the Lakers franchise right now. With LeBron, the Lakers have a lot of stability in the financial department. They have a lot of stability in the media department. And I feel like the Lakers would want to capitalize on that stability while they still have LeBron in the building. Because the post-LeBron Lakers, that team is going to look completely different. Because naturally, you know, LeBron draws a lot of attention from free agents and attention from the media and all sorts of things. So the environment is going to be very different. And maybe it was just because this Luka trade was a once-in-a-lifetime thing and they just seized the opportunity. But I feel like this is still an attempt to put a superstar next to LeBron and see if you can spin it back and get Bron one more ring before he retires.
I mean, something to pay attention to is that 4 of their remaining 9 games are against either the 1 or the 2 seed in the West. They have 2 games against the Thunder and 2 games against the Rockets. And that's looking pretty tough for them. They also have a game against the Warriors, which is the Warriors, and the Grizzlies, which are teams that are both in competition for them right now. And that is just must-win games for them.
Absolutely.
Is really what it is that their schedule looks pretty tough. for the rest of the regular season, and they need to hold on to one of the 4 seed, because they could fall pretty quickly.
What is the likelihood you think that the Lakers actually manage to fall all the way down into the play-in? They get overtaken by Memphis, the Clippers, and Golden State.
Honestly, I think the Thunder will beat them both times. I could see them pulling a game on the Rockets, or maybe even winning both games. They can beat the Grizzlies now, considering they fired their head coach. The Warriors is a bit of a scrappy game for them. The Warriors are a sneaky good team right now.
They are good.
Ever since acquiring Jimmy Butler, they've looked great. So it just looks like a tough schedule and an even tougher playoff matchup for them coming up.
Definitely. But you know what? I got faith in this Lakers team. I got faith in LeBron. I got faith in Luka. They've shown us that they can take, less than stellar rosters far before. So, don't count out this Lakers team. This playoffs is going to be a lot of fun, and I'm excited to see where this Lakers team goes. Now, we're going to pivot and talk some football, because remember last episode when I said how stupid it would be if the Giants went and signed Russell Wilson and, got all the quarterbacks in the room, and then they were going to draft Shador anyway? That's the reality that we live in right now. I spoke it into existence. We recorded the episode, and then the same day, like literally 3 hours after we were done recording the episode, I got the notification on my phone that the Giants signed Russell Wilson to a 1-year, $21 million deal.
Up to $21 million.
Yeah, technically. $10.5 million deal guaranteed. Yeah. Up to $21 million. Still an overpay for Russ, if you ask me.
Definitely.
He should have been looking at a Jameis Winston $7 million deal. Like, that should have been the deal in his future.
Russell Wilson is washed. He is Mr. Washed. I don't like this signing. I don't like this signing for the Giants.
I hate it.
Giants country, let's ride. Is really what this is looking like to me right now.
Giants country. Let's
be
big.
It's just not what I wanted to see. What I wanted was Jameis is the quarterback, and they draft a rookie or something to develop a rookie. And it just makes me think, what is the plan for this Giants quarterback room right now?
Exactly. Because I think Jameis is a better quarterback than Russell Wilson now.
I completely agree with that. I think Russell Wilson has a mid floor. Like, he's never going to look that bad on the team.
Exactly.
But his ceiling is just not high at all.
Yeah. Jameis does have a tendency to be able to kind of crumble a game for you.
Jameis has a high ceiling of the floor is below the ground.
Yeah, very low floor.
That is the issue, is that I think Jameis, there's a lot of risk with his play, but I think if you were confident in your playmakers, you're confident in your team, you would go with Jameis rather than Russell Wilson here. It's just such a boring pick. I really feel like that. Russ can't move like he used to. I don't think the Giants really have the playmakers outside of Malik Neighbors to make Russ a good quarterback at this point. I just don't like the signing at all for them.
Well, that's the thing with the Giants. That's always been their problem, is that they never have any faith in their skill players. They didn't have any faith in Odell Beckham Jr. all those years ago. They didn't have any faith in Saquon. Mm-hmm. And, I mean, granted, they were right with Odell Beckham Jr. because he did kind of fall off once he went to Cleveland. But they were definitely wrong about Saquon. And now they are, spending money that they could be spending, bolstering their offensive line or getting some defensive backs. There's so much more useful things that you could be spending that $10.5 million on. You could spend $10.5 million on like a B- cornerback instead of a C quarterback. And it's just because they have absolutely zero faith in their skill players, and they want to have as many quarterbacks as possible so that when Jameis starts throwing picks, they can just bench him and put out Russ. And when Russ starts taking a bunch of sacks because he's holding on to the ball too long, they can put out Tommy Cutlets, and we can get real Italian up in here.
Tommy DeVito.
Oh, he's still on the roster. Don't forget about him.
Do you think Russell Wilson or Daniel Jones is a better quarterback in 2025?
Oh, that's actually a really great question. Honestly, I'm leaning Russell Wilson just because Russell Wilson is not currently being used as like a measuring stick for another quarterback to decide whether or not he's good or not.
Well, Daniel Jones actually just put out a statement. He said, quote, "Mahomes had the last 5 years. The next 5 years are mine."
Did he really say that?
On his future as an NFL quarterback.
Did he really say that?
No, he didn't say that.
You fooled me. You fooled me.
He did not say that.
Could you imagine, though? The audacity of him.
That'd be audacity.
But No, I'm sure Malik Neighbors is very upset right now, and he should be. I'm sure he was jumping for joy when he saw that they were signing Jameis, and now I bet he's crying. I bet the Giants made Malik Neighbors cry.
Now, do you think Russell Wilson will get benched throughout the season?
Yes.
Because he's going to be the Week 1 starter.
Yes. I think that there is no reality where Russell Wilson both starts the year as the Giants quarterback and ends the year as the Giants quarterback.
Yeah.
Not a chance.
I totally agree. He was fine on the Steelers. But past in the last 5 weeks of the season for the Steelers, he just completely fell apart, along with the rest of the Steelers. But I just think Russell Wilson, for the rest of his career, and this could be, we're probably in the last 3 years of Russell Wilson at most. I feel like this really could be his last year as a starter, and I just don't see anything with this signing. I see nothing but stability. This is a stability signing because Jameis, if Jameis came and played bad, it could look bad for the franchise, and Russ is more of a safe pick, is really what it is.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with you. When we get back from this break, we're going to be talking about the Giants' first-round pick because a lot of sources are saying that it's going to be Shedeur. I have some other opinions, so stick around. We'll be right back. Jake's Hot Takes, 94.5, 1220 WGNY, News Talk Sports. I said that all out of order. We'll be right back.
Thinking about remodeling your kitchen or bath? Wayne's Way Wholesale Cabinets has a great selection of all wood cabinets in the styles and colors to make your remodeling dreams come to life. Go to WaynesWayCabinets.com for more info. Wayne's Way Cabinets, 1829 South Road, Wappingers Falls. Call 845-280-0880. Stop by and talk to Wayne today. You'll be glad you did. CDS Auto and Truck Repair is your 5-star one-stop shop for all your vehicle's needs from A to Z, offering full vehicle diagnostic. Towing is available, and they now offer fleet service. CDS Auto and Truck Repair. Call 845-563-9987. That's 845-563-9987. CDS Auto and Truck Repair, 2917 Route 9W, New Windsor.
You've long known that Newburgh Auto Spa on Route 17K utilizes top caliber products and the latest technology to give your vehicle the proper maintenance it needs. Whether it be a computerized soft cloth car wash, detailing consisting of a comprehensive bumper-to-bumper cleaning of your entire interior and exterior, or a fuel-efficient oil change from a trained technician, Newburgh Auto Spa is the place to go. Now, Newburgh Auto Spa is a full-service automotive center. That's right, Newburgh Auto Spa now offers tires, brakes, rotors, tune-ups, alternators, and more, all with the same professionalism and quality you've become accustomed to. For a full list of automotive services offered in specials, go to NewburghAutospa.com. Whether you need a basic car wash, a quick oil change, or now more extensive automotive service, Newburgh Auto Spa is the place to go. Newburgh Auto Spa, quick, convenient, clean, located at 86 Route 17K and online at NewburghAutospa.com. Now offering a full range of automotive services. Newburgh Auto Spa, quick, convenient, clean.
The Roma Deli, 237 Myers Corners Road, Wappingers Falls, is your neighborhood family-owned and operated deli, offering breakfast, lunch, and catering options. The Roma Deli has brought a little piece of the Bronx to Wappingers, including fresh-made sandwiches, Italian specialties, and desserts, all prepared and cooked in-house with authentic Italian ingredients. Their large menu provides lots of options to personalize your order to your taste. Vegan and vegetarian options available. The Roma Deli, offering catering that is perfect for any party or business function. Go to RomaDeli1.com or call 845-297-1200.
Michael's Appliances presents Ask Andy, the appliance expert. Andy, what makes my oven smell so bad when I self-clean?
Self-clean, my favorite weapon in the world. Self-cleaning is a brutal environment. Most people don't think about it. They hear self-clean. I'm not really sure if they're picturing scrubbing bubbles inside there, but what's really happening is we're heating the oven up hot enough to carbonize protein. We're going to take the food stuff that's left in your stove, and we're actually going to carbonize it. We're going to turn it to dust. So we're 700 degrees. So why does it smell bad? You're setting fire to a chicken. Today, a lot of the new stoves, because of the energy guidelines, there is no real self-cleaning self-clean anymore. They don't want those high temperatures. It's a huge waste of energy. It's very easy. You don't have to get on your hands and knees and your back doesn't hurt. You're not scrubbing the stove, but we use a ton of energy to clean the inside of that stove by heating it up.
Shop with the experts. Nobody knows appliances like Michael's Appliance Center, 585 East Main Street, Middletown. Online at michaelsappliance.com.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back. Hey, we're back. It's Jake's Hot Takes. All right. So the Giants have the 3rd overall pick in the draft. And my question to you, Matthew, is who should the Giants draft and why should it be Travis Hunter?
Honestly, I would love for the Giants to draft Travis Hunter, but I just don't think he's falling to 3. I think Cleveland is going to take him. We're going to see another generational talent be locked in the dungeons of Cleveland, Ohio. And I think by this point, it's locked in that Cam Ward is going to be the 1st overall pick at this point.
Yeah, that's what it's looking like.
I think the Giants could really improve from Abdul Carter being signed and drafted to the Giants. I think that'd be a great talent. Kayvon Thibodeau sucks.
And they just signed Brian Burns, though.
Brian Burns is great. He's a great piece, but I think that Abdul Carter is one of the best players in the draft, and if they can't get Travis Hunter, they should aim for him.
Do you think this current Giants defensive line, with the addition of Abdul Carter, would be the best defensive line in the NFL?
No.
You don't think so?
No.
They got Dexter Lawrence. They got Brian Burns, and they'd have Abdul Carter.
They'd be the second best defensive line in their conference.
Philly's already washed.
Philly is a way better defensive line.
Yeah, but Philly's already washed.
How is that true?
They're washed. They're not going to be good this year.
Okay. That's just not true.
Anyway, no, I think quite the opposite. I think that the Browns are actually going to go and draft who the Giants wanted to draft, and that would be Shedeur Sanders.
Yeah.
I think the Browns are going to be looking towards the future, and I think that provides a perfect opportunity for Travis Hunter to fall right in our lap. And I swear to God, if we take Jackson Dart or Jalen Milroe at 3rd overall, and you know what? Don't laugh, because it's not impossible. It's not impossible that happens, that we draft Jackson Dart 3rd overall. We go Cam Ward, Shedeur Sanders, Jackson Dart. And if that happens, I'm going to have a really angry rant about it and then put it on the radio and on the internet.
Yeah, I mean that would be a pretty bad one. I mean, that's what happened with Daniel Jones.
Yeah.
When they took him, he was like a day 2 grade, and they took him 5th overall.
Yeah, it's
pretty bad,
something like that. But the last time the Giants had a pick within the top 3, we got Saquon. So there's still hope. I mean, a top 3 pick is good, plain and simple. Whoever we get at that position is probably going to be a good football player at the very least.
Very true.
Do you think there's any likelihood that the Giants end up trading down?
No. Maybe if Travis Hunter is taken, I could see them trading down, because their defensive line isn't a strong need for them right now.
Right.
I could see them trading down and try to get more picks out of this draft class, but hopefully the plans for the Giants is not to draft in this position for a very long time. So I don't think they would do that. They'd probably seize their opportunity to draft high.
Yeah, that makes sense. The Giants they definitely seem like they're fixing to kind of get into that 6 to 10 range in the upcoming drafts, which isn't always the best thing for a team that's trying to develop. But you know what? Smart drafting can overcome any draft position. Puka Nacua was taken in the back of the 12th round or whenever he was taken. There have been guys that pop up like that all the time. So I don't have faith in the Giants' current management, but if they fire their general manager, I might have faith in him.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see.
Yes, we most certainly will. My last question to you, Matt, is why not draft offensive line for the Giants?
I guess that could be a good idea, but I just think the biggest there's no Joe Alt in this class that you're looking to and being like he can be a top 3 pick. I think the best players in this draft are Abdul Carter and Travis Hunter.
All right. Well, I mean, that's a good enough reason by itself, ain't it?
Yeah.
All right, and that is going to do it for this episode of Jake's Hot Takes. Thank you very much for listening. We love the support that we've been getting on the show. Make sure you follow the Instagram, Jake's Hot Takes WGNY, and make sure you send an email to jakesHotTakes@wgny.net. It's going to be a lot of fun, and that is all we got for you today. This has been Jake's Hot Takes. I am Jake McVey, joined by Matt Galgano, right here on WGNY 1220 94.5 News Talk Sports. Tune in next Thursday for our next episode. Same time, same place. We love you. Thank you for listening.